Dear students, I am delighted to welcome you all for our online English class. In today's class, we are going to learn a story, an interesting story about two pigeons. They are good friends. In today's lesson, we'll see what happened in their lives. Shall we start our lesson? Now, take your textbook and start reading the first paragraph along with me. Come on, let's start.
Children, take page number 89 and read along with me. Once there lived two white pigeons. They were friends. They spent their days looking for food. During afternoons, they would rest on their favorite tree in the forest. Then they would sing and dance. At night, they would lock their wings and sleep.
Thank you for reading the first paragraph along with me. Now I'll give you the explanation for this paragraph. Once there lived two white pigeons. They are so good friends. During the morning time, they'll go out in search of food. Afternoon, they'll sit together. And at night, they will dance and sing and they'll go to sleep together. They are very good friends. Now let's read the second paragraph.
One day it was raining heavily in the forest. The animals ran to their shelter. So did one of the hen pigeons. She ruffled her feathers and shook her body to dry the water. She adjusted her wings and perched on the tree and started waiting for the cock pigeon. The rain continued to pour heavily and it was getting dark. She started to worry for her friend. He is never so late. I hope he is safe, she whispered to herself. Perched, meaning rest on something. Whispered, speak very softly.
One day it was raining heavily in the forest. During rain, what will you do? You'll all run inside your house, isn't it? Similarly, here all the animals, they started running towards their shelter. They wanted to protect themselves from the rain. So all the animals are running. And this hen pigeon, she was sitting in a branch and she was waiting for her friend. That cock pigeon, he didn't return back. This hen pigeon was very scared and very worried. What happened to my friend? He didn't return back. So still she was waiting in the branch for her friend. Now let's see what happened to that cock pigeon.
Ah, the rain is heavy. Let me wait in this tree till it stops, thought the cock pigeon and perched on a tree. He did not know there was a bird catcher nearby. The bird catcher silently reached near the pigeon and clamped. He caught the pigeon. The pigeon tried to fly, that ended in vain. The cock pigeon was tensed and fainted. The hunter put the pigeon in his cage and started to walk home. I should be home before the rain increases, he thought to himself. Clamp, to hold firmly something so that it doesn't move.
As this hen pigeon was waiting for the cock pigeon, in another part of the forest, the cock pigeon was sitting in a tree. It was thinking, it was raining heavily, so it couldn't fly back to his nest, so he was waiting in the branch. At that time, a bird catcher came near the tree. This cock pigeon, he didn't notice the bird catcher. The bird catcher slowly came and he caught the cock pigeon. And this cock pigeon, he tried to escape from this bird catcher, but he couldn't. Finally, the cock pigeon fainted and this bird catcher, he put this pigeon inside a cage and he started walking towards his house. Let's see what happened next in our next paragraph.
It started to rain heavily. Just then, the hen pigeon saw a bird catcher coming near the tree. In the cage, he had the cock pigeon. It was unconscious. Fear gripped the hen pigeon. Was it a friend? The bird catcher neared the tree. She had to hide, but she also wanted to have a closer look to see if it was her friend. She flew down to the lowest branch. Oh no, it is him. What shall I do now? I have to help my friend, worried the hen pigeon. The sky thundered, and the bird catcher took cover under her tree. Looks like I have to wait till the rain stops, said the bird catcher.
In this paragraph, we could see the bird catcher was walking back to his house with his cock pigeon in his hand. In another place in a tree, this hen pigeon was waiting for her friend. So she saw this bird catcher and a bird inside the nest. She was wondering whether that was her friend. So she came slowly down. She couldn't see properly, so she came slowly down to check who was inside the cage. The hen pigeon was shocked to see her friend inside the cage. By the meantime, it started to rain heavily that the bird catcher decided to take rest under a tree. So he sat near a tree and the hen pigeon was worried and she was looking at her friend. Now let's continue the next paragraph.
Meaning of gripped, hold. Soon it stopped raining. The bird catcher wanted to leave, but it was too dark and late in the night. I will camp here for the night and leave in the morning, he thought. It was a wet, cold night, and he wanted to start a fire to keep himself warm. He could not find any dry twigs. The pigeon in the cage woke up and tried to fly only for his wings to hit the cage.
The rain stopped and the bird catcher he decided to go back, but then he thought it was very dark, so he decided to stay back that night in the forest. He thought if he could find some twigs, he could make himself warm. But as it rained heavily, he couldn't find any twigs there. So he was sitting there, and near him who was there? This cock pigeon he regained from his unconscious. He was conscious now. Let's see what happened next.
The hen pigeon started to cry. Her friend said, "Do not feel sad, dear. We have a guest now. The man is shivering and hungry. He needs your help." The pigeon flew from the tree in search of dry twigs. She got 2 or 3 twigs at a time and made a big heap of dry twigs. She got flint stones for the bird catcher to start the fire. The bird catcher was surprised by the hen pigeon. He made fire. "You are my guest. I have no food to give you. I will jump into the fire so that you can eat me." The bird catcher was overwhelmed by the hospitality of the pigeon. He caught the hen pigeon and stopped her from jumping into the fire. "Oh, kind bird, what do you want? I will help you in any way I can," said the bird catcher. "Please set my friend free. My life will be meaningless without him," replied the pigeon. Twig, small stick of trees. Heap, collection of objects placed on top of each other. Overwhelmed, impressed, hospitality, taking good care of guests or visitors.
Hen pigeon started crying. Then the cock pigeon said, "You don't cry. This bird catcher is our guest today. Look at him. He's shivering and he's very hungry. So you please help him." The cock pigeon said to this hen pigeon. Immediately the hen pigeon flew and it brought few twigs, dry twigs to set fire, and she gave 2 stones to set fire. And she asked the bird catcher, "You set fire. I will jump inside the fire so you'll get something to eat." This man, this bird catcher, was really very shocked and surprised to hear this. He was very pleased. He has never seen a bird who is willing to sacrifice its life to feed her guest. The man was pleased and he said, No, I don't want to eat you. I'm not going to hurt you. You ask me something so that I can give you. Immediately, the hen pigeon said, you have caught my friend. Kindly, you just release him. You just set him free because I can't live without my friend. The bird catcher immediately opened the cage and now the cock pigeon was free. Next day morning, what happened? We'll see in the next paragraph. Come on.
Opened the cage and set the pigeon free. I was cruel and selfish. I will never trap any bird again, said the bird catcher. He stayed the night there. In the morning, the pigeons got him nuts, fruits, and seeds to eat. The bird catcher thanked the pigeons and walked away.
Next day morning, these two birds brought many fruits and nuts to this bird catcher. The bird catcher was very happy and he said, till that day he was very, very selfish. That's why he was catching birds and he was making out money. But from today, I will never catch any birds. There was a big change in the life of this bird catcher. Dear students, in today's story, we could see two good things. The first thing is how a good friend helped her friend, isn't it? In your life, if you have a good friend, for sure, they will help you when you are in need. So, it's very important to have a good friend in your life. Second thing, the bird was rescued from the bird catcher because of these birds' hospitality. The bird catcher was pleased by their hospitality. That's why he let this cock bird free. So, we should have hospitality. If someone comes to your house, you should treat them with much hospitality, which will bring blessings in your life. Now it's time to wind up today's class. I'll meet you all in my next class. Until then, it's bye from Deepa ma'am.